It is an honor to bring you somebody who is part of a country music festival like no other. Please welcome Kip Moore to KFM 94.5.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
You know, for you to be in South Africa, in Cape Town as well, how's it been for you?
I mean, the experience has been incredible for me. I was here last year, so we did 2 nights in the arena last year, and that was just my show last time. So this is a different kind of thing this time around. But the way the gregarious nature of the smiles here in South Africa are very unique to South Africa. I've traveled the world, and the way people have embraced me around here, I'd say it's similar to Australia in that sense of just how the heart is on the sleeve and you know exactly where you stand. But everybody's been so warm. I've just loved being here. Like when I left the hotel the other day, it's just like, and I'm kind of like that wherever I go, whether it's catering or people working the venue or the hotel. I try to go out of my way and speak to the people working. And we had this bond at the hotel, and it's like we're all hugging, and you know, they're singing to me as I'm leaving, and it's just this amazing experience. And that was in Pretoria.
Yes.
But the same thing happened last year when I stayed at the hotel in Cape Town. It was just this, all the workers are hugging me as I'm leaving, and it's just this special thing.
This is great. I'm so glad you were embraced. Did they teach you any of our lingo? Not the swear words?
Yeah.
The other stuff?
No, I got you. You know, Kapstad, Hoya. You know, I've got, you know, yeah, I got. And I don't know if I got this. So it's like Cape Town. Hula Vietney Vat Ons Vietney.
Dude,
that's on, right?
That is like,
yeah. So it's like He said Cape Town, Hula Vietney Vat Ons Vietney.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay. Good.
Hula Vietney Vat Ons Vietney. You got it.
Yeah.
What?
Kapstad Hoya.
Oh yeah. Kip Moore. Goodness.
Yeah.
This is great. Well, I mean, you're really just someone that's a resident here. It feels like it already.
I try to, like, wherever I go, when there is a different speaking language, I try to digest some. I want to know about it. I want to know, like, what moves you, what are sayings you guys love. And so I think that might be the first thing I address the crowd with when I walk out tomorrow night.
If you do that, I'm just letting you know, you will inspire a nation, just because that's one phrase that's been part of Drickus du Plessis from the UFC, and then obviously our Springboks who are so successful in rugby.
Which one that I'm saying that you're talking about?
So Drickus du Plessis said Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie, but the thing is we adopted that as a national, it's an emblem now. It's part of us. So we have that, it's almost part of our anthem. We just need to work on it. But it's so good to hear you say that. And how, and I mean, when you get on stage, you must just throw words out there. You must say, are you having a lekker time?
I said that last year.
Did you say, and how did it go?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yes.
That's how... You know, as Maximus in Gladiator was once told, win the crowd, and you win your freedom.
Aren't you excited for Gladiator too?
Like, I am.
Nobody writes songs in a writing session all the time. Sometimes you'll get a lyric when you're experiencing something. Am I right in saying this? In like when you're on the road and you have a little...
So I write every single morning in my life. Every single morning I wake up, it's the first thing I do. I get a cup of coffee, a little something else, and I write. And it's just kind of my cathartic process. Every single day I do it. And I've got constant, whether it's complete full arrangements of an entire song in my head, whether it's fragments, whether it's lyrics, whether it's constantly in there. So I suss it out every morning. I see what I got, but it all changes for me. You take something like Heart's Desire, which is a massive song here in South Africa, and it was like, some songs like that I wrestle with for months. I had all the music. I had everything down. I had all the melody, and I'm just spitfiring melodies. Melodies is what's always come to me the easiest. And I had that groove. I had it in my phone for months, and I rewrote, I probably wrote 3 to 4 different full songs, trashed them all, because the jukes is, you know, that like there was so much tension on the musical arrangement, and I wasn't matching that with the tension of the lyric and the melody of the lyric.
I got you.
So I finally was able to rein that in, but it's like I lived with that song and that music for months. I'd listen to it at night before I go to bed, you know, and I woke up one night at like 3 o'clock in the morning and the whole thing was there, and in a matter of minutes I wrote it. And so you never know. And then something like, you know, Hey Pretty Girl, I sat down and wrote really fast with my buddy Dan Couch. So it all varies. Sometimes I have the full entire lyric. Like another night in Knoxville, I was walking back to my condo when I was snowboarding, and I had a 15-minute walk, and I almost wrote that whole song, just
What?
the lyric, on my walk home. But I could hear all the musical na 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 na. You know, I could hear all the harmony things happen. I could hear the bass playing a counter melody, and so I'm singing all that in my phone. And then when I get back to my lodge is when I learned how to play all the parts that I'm hearing, and then I put the music to the lyric.
Wow.
So it all varies.
I needed to ask because country music lyrics are so descriptive. It's not subliminal. It's never about you make me feel like the sun because it rises every day. No, there's something I like the detail. Like you don't hold back. You say this is exactly what the situation is right now and how I'm feeling. That's what I love about country music writing.
I do. I love it too, and that's what turned me on to it. I kind of float in and out of those two things. I grew up a rock and roll baby.
Okay.
So, I mean, everything in my house was rock and roll. And so that's why I've been played on so many different rock stations all through Europe, is because like the last 3 records have really bled into that world. And then the first 2 were just solely played on country radio.
Yeah.
But there's so many, when you listen even that first record, you know, I remember, I think it was Rolling Stone writing an article about how many rock and roll influences musically were on that first record. So I kind of dance in and out of giving you a painting that's as clear as can be. I'll still use metaphors and stuff, but and then I do things like, you know, that aren't as clear, and I give you a chance to make up your own painting with it. And it kind of depends on me a lot of times with how descriptive the music is, and what emotive state I'm in that particular day. Sometimes I don't want to give you the whole, you know, the whole thing. So I kind of, you know, I'll kind of dance around what I'm feeling and thinking.
I love that so much, and I love to hear about your process. We don't talk about the process enough when it comes to artists like you. We enjoy the music. We love it. We're at different spaces. We had the best times of our lives when we listen to Kip Moore's music. But the thing is to hear where you write it. That's the magic.
You know, and I think this sums it up. Is good. Like something like "If I Was Your Lover," which has really exploded here in South Africa, which, you know, that's a pop rock and roll track, and that was all my buddy Matt Boubel, who was he was just kind of doing on the keys. And so I just started spitfiring, you know, if I was your lover in this life or another, yeah, we'd be. And so that saying, that's all I had. Yeah, we be. You know, I would call you baby, and who knows, maybe we go from nothing. And so that was all kind of this open air thing of, there was nothing certain about it. So I wanted to make sure the lyric also, there was nothing certain about it. So I just spitfired fragmented thoughts of what we could have been or what it was before, and just tried to make it where, you know, that's what I was feeling that day, and I didn't want to get too descriptive. And then there's times, Comeback Kid, where I just get super descriptive, very detail oriented, like Guitar Man. That's how I did that, was very detail oriented about my life before it all exploded.
And that's what I like, the virtue of country music. We are so excited to see you perform. And I wanted to ask you if you are able to. What I do is I do something called a Klein Lesenaar concert. All right, it's Afrikaans for tiny desk.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I changed the language. Doesn't matter. It's not a copyright infringement, okay? And if artists like you could come through, I mean, just inspiration. And I see you brought your guitar. Kip Moore is about to give you something live. The Klein Lesenaar concert. No copyright. It's in Afrikaans. Ooh, there it is. Do you hear that? Guitar's there. Oh, yes.
You want to go around that?
I feel like you should just flow with it. Do what you need to do.
Well, it's already late into the evening, and it's been hours since the sun went down. You told me that you were leaving, and maybe you'd see me around. Said, I'll see you around. Well, it's never this cold in September. Wander out into the night. An old man says, son, ain't it a pity? Fumbles in his jacket, says, hey, you got a lie. For a moment I was lost on the side of the road, in a memory in a time when you felt so close, yeah. And in a way, some things get harder to remember. The trees will lose their leaves in November. Would you even tell me if you ever think about the flowers in December? Well, I thumbed me a cap with all my loose change, and I saw a picture sitting in the dash. The sky was blue, and I bet that it was summer. Then a cold chill hit me just like that, hit me just like that. And in a way, some things get harder to remember. The trees will lose their leaves in November. Would you even tell me if you ever think about the flowers in December? Oh, oh, oh. I've never really lived to see the sunrise and the stars fading in the sky. There's a peace, and I feel it all around me. Now I know it's time to say goodbye, time to say goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Kip Moore.
All right.
On the flash drive at KFM 94.5, exclusively at the Cape Town Country Music Festival. I'm a bit emotional. 2024. Goodness gracious me. I need to ask, where were you when you wrote that song?
Man, I was doing a stadium show in Anaheim, California, and we were doing a sound check. And it's just one of those things where I was just kind of doing that open.
It's just,
and it just took me to a place.
Wow.
Eric, my drummer, started immediately doing this incredible groove behind me, and it took me to a very specific time and nostalgic place in my life, in a time where, and I think a lot of it was because, much like right now, I've been on the road for a month and a half straight, I start getting kind of crazy, like you never sleep, and you start kind of losing your mind a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was definitely in that frame on the West Coast, and I was just, it brought me to a time where I was really wrestling with letting go of something that I've been holding on to for a very long time. And I felt that weight kind of shedding off of my skin. So that's where my mental headspace was at that day.
It is a beautiful song. Yeah. What is it called, and when is it out?
Flowers in December. It's going to be out next month. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And we got the exclusive from Kip Moore on KFM 94.5. I think it's just your music is a gift, Kip.
I appreciate it.
It really is.
Much.
And I can't wait for everybody at the Country Music Festival to feel it and hear it. And I feel like you should be coming back every single year. You had last year, you got this year. Let's continue.
Well, your disposition's a gift. You got you're amazing, man. You walked in and just were so warm to everybody. That's a gift in itself. So I appreciate that.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
It's appreciation. I think that's the purpose behind what we do in anything in entertainment is that we're not only storytellers, but we are people first.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to hold dear.
I'm with you.
First, people.
I'm with you.
Thank you so much. Kip Moore on the Flash Drive in KFM 94.5.
Flash Drive with Carl Wasty. Only on KFM 94.5.